Hi, good evening, everybody. It's time, it's even 2 minutes after. We are starting our streaming, our live GeoD. So please go on, Kimberly.
Great. Thank you, Eliane. I appreciate it. And thank you all for joining us today. We really appreciate it. It's great to have you here. And we're really looking forward to introducing you to GeoDin and walking you through the key features of the software. My name is Kimberly Norton, and I'm the commercial manager for GeoDin. And I'm joined by my colleague, Daniel TenneT, and he is the GeoDin product owner and a geologist by training. Additionally, Eliane Festinoni is our Scrum Master and will be moderating today's web demo. We're recording today's web demo, so you'll receive the link to the recording afterwards. And also, one quick reminder, to ensure the best demo experience, set the video quality to the highest option by clicking on the setting wheel located at the bottom right corner of your screen. If you do this, you should have a better resolution. Now to GeoDin, what we're here for and what you've joined us to learn about. GeoDin is not just software. It's a solution crafted from almost 30 years of expertise and innovation in the field of geosciences. It offers a comprehensive suite of tools designed to empower professionals across industries, geotechnical engineers, geologists, environmental consultants, and beyond, to manage and analyze geodata. With GeoDin, you unlock the power to seamlessly integrate data from diverse sources, visualize geological formations in detail, and generate insights that help drive informed decision-making. Whether you're managing a complex project, conducting environmental assessments, or safeguarding geological heritage, GeoDin is your partner in navigating the depths below the surface and the challenges that are ahead. So with that, I'm going to hand this over to Daniel. Also, to remind you, we have time dedicated for questions and answers after Daniel highlights the key features in GeoDin. So if you could hold your questions till the end, that would be wonderful. And you can also feel free to place questions in the chat while the demo is going on, and we'll make sure they get answered in our question and answer. So without holding back anymore, let me hand this over to Daniel. Daniel, feel free to take it away and share your screen.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kimberly, for the introduction. Thanks, everyone, for joining today's webinar. So I'm going to share my screen, then we can have like a look at GeoDin. So one moment. And now I hope that you can actually see my screen. What you can see here, that's like the basic user interface of GeoDin when you open it the first time. So once you downloaded our trial version should come along with two databases or demo databases which we have here. And so also our demo will be focusing on this demo databases. However, you can also create your own databases or your own data sets. Regarding user interface in general, we have here on the left-hand side our databases, projects, and objects. In the middle area, we have our active methods, depending where we are. And on the right-hand side, once we open those methods, I will show it to you later in the demo, also like we have new content appearing here. Right now, I'm opening the database, which is focusing on our datasets in Las Vegas. Here you can see the database that contains a project. So we can also support several projects. And within projects, we have objects. And an object is a representation of a borehole, a CPT, or trial pit in similar. And as you can see also right now, when I'm moving here alongside this tree, also the methods are changing depending on the level where we are. And so for the demo purposes, I have right now access databases linked. However, we can also use client-server databases, which can be stored either also in the network or in the cloud. Right now, my demo database is here just on my system. Yeah, so let's dig to the data collection part. So right now I'm opening the data management. And here we can see like the first interface where we can store our general data. Within the field you see here like borehole names, project titles. You can select from a drop-down list the methods according to how the borehole was performed. And you see also additional fields where you can import data or fill it by hand. To visualize the data on a map, as you can see it here downside, so you need to pick your coordinate system. So we provide all the EPSG codes. You can enter your easting and northing, and you get everything visualized on the OpenStreetMap. Let's go right now to the lithological data. And we are quite proud that we can cover different kind of international standards. Right now you see here that we have demo data sets according to the ASTM standard. However, by clicking here on the plus symbol, we can also select from other standards as the British standard or also the IN ISO standard. However, let's focus today on the ASTM standard. How does the data collection works like? So we can define our own layers. Here we have already some layers available, but we can also right now create a new one. So for the fun, let's create a new layer. So let's go for a layer till 95 meters. We enter here the depth information. We can select from predefined ground types as fine-grained soil, fine-grained cohesive soil, coarse-grained cohesionless soil, or other parameters or ground types as rocks. So depending which ground type we select, we have also different kind of properties which are aligning to the standards, but also to the parameters. For example, for fine-grained cohesive soil, we can select the plasticity, while for coarse-grained cohesionless soil, we can select parameters like relative density and similar. How can we collect the data, or how can we enter the data? We can either select it here from a pick list. So right now I just select here clay. I can select here a secondary soil type like sandy clay, and then also I just can enter the codes by hand. Based on the selection I have, also like the code will expand, and the text will get generated on the fly, and also the field pattern will be created based on our selection. But of course, we can also add additional information if necessary. So let's right now create the second layer. So I click again on the plus symbol. Right now, let's go for layer till 100 meters. Select another ground type, like coarse-grained cohesionless soil. And here we can also just enter the information by hand. And then also, if I enter S, the text will appear. In the next area, we have also like our sample management. And again, you can either import your samples from Excel spreadsheets, or you can also enter them by hand. And here in this area, so we scroll down, and so we can enter a new sample, let's say from 82 meters to 83 meters, like the entire recovery. Penetration is calculated on the fly. And here we have, again, like predefined pick lists, where you can also select the sample condition and your sample type. So for example, I will select here now a liner sample. In the next area, we have like well design. So if you would like to visualize a well, you can define the borehole itself. You can have like the backfilling, casing screens, and similar. If you go in the last area, we can also store data sequences. It's gonna get more important for CPT data, for example. In this example, you can still also see a CPT data which we imported. So right now it's opening. Here you can see like all the data sets, like we have our friction ratio, cone resistance, sleeve friction, and similar. However, you can also create your own data sequences, or you can also import them if necessary from ASCII files, CSV files, and similar. Let's go in the next area to measurement data. So right now I'm opening another method, measurement data, and now our method is opening, and we have a representation of several kind of field tests and laboratory tests. Right now, let's jump to another object again. And here you can see in general the representation of all the tests. For the demo database, we only have right now here, how much is it? Around 12 or 13 tests. However, with GeoDin, we also deliver around 50 tests, which cover classification tests, but also more advanced geotechnical tests, as triaxial tests and similar. Right now, you can see here like also an example how we can manage Atterberg limits. So we would select here a sample from the drop-down menu. We define an offset at which test depth the test was performed. So let's say 6 meters plus 30 centimeters. The depth will get calculated automatically. We pick our laboratory here. So let's say it's an unknown laboratory. We define our standard, and then we can also enter our measurement data. So let's assume we have right now a plastic limit of 15%. We have a liquid limit of 30%. Once I tap here, the plasticity index will be calculated on the fly. Right now, like 15, as you know the equation. If you go to the water content, we can also add water content, and also the liquidity index and similar will be calculated on the fly. And how does it work? Within GeoDin, we have like predefined equations, which will calculate your results based on your input values. And that's in general how you can work with those tests. Also, it may be good for you to know, and so you can create your own tests if necessary with your own parameters, with your own plausibilities, and with your own equations. And if you see right now here also the text, and so AL, you see here like the long text, it's the Atterberg limits, and also If you're unsure which parameter is meant here by WP, you can also select it, and you will see here as well at the bottom that it's a parameter plastic limit. Once we have all the data within our database, we can switch to the visualization of our data. Therefore, I will click here on graphic printing and editing. With GeoDin, we deliver a bunch of predefined templates. So right now I select here, for example, the geotechnical soil log, A3 portrait metric, and now that's a placeholder for all the data we have in the database. By selecting it, and so it's right now fetching the data from the database, visualizing here in the plot. And so we see our samples here, we see our fill patterns, our description, but also like our measurement values. And so here in this area. And once I also switch again to another object, the data is updated based on the object, or right now on the borehole to which I select. One moment. So again, as mentioned, we have like our borehole logs, we have parameter versus depth plots. Maybe I can also show that one for the CPT classification. I select right now a CPT data set. The data is loaded from the CPT and then visualized here in the plot. One moment. Here we go. The data gets loaded. Then it will be plotted according to the Robertson classification, and then also color coded within the template. You see we have here a lot of data sets. Here we can see like the color coded CPT data. And as well, we have also like additional tables. We have XY graphs also that you can visualize your plasticity chart, your particle size distribution, and similar. On the one hand side, you can also edit the existing templates, but on the other hand side, if you want to have something very unique for your projects, you can also use our graphic editor, which you can see here. Here you can create your own templates. The first instance, you can select your paper format. So it could be like also letter format and similar. And afterwards, you can place some elements. If you look here at this area, we can select like fixed elements like rectangles, text, symbols, pictures, and similar. Let me just highlight like it works. So I select the text. I can increase the size. I can put here like a fixed text, which stays stable. However, the magic comes in once we select here like our so-called object frame. So I selected the object frame. I drag and drop it around this area here, around the paper format or on the paper sheet. And within this object frame, we can now include variable elements. Right now, for example, we can select the borehole log, which I drag and drop here inside. I can select here a scale bar. And now, once I drag and drop here something inside, drag also an object inside, it will get like, the template will get updated. So right now also we have per element different kind of options how we want to visualize it. So right now I do it like that. And also everything is depth oriented. So right now I'm moving basically the borehole log, and also everything is aligned according to the depth. Another option what we can do is to have like variable text elements. Right now I select one here. I increase again the size so it's more easy visible for us. And within the text element we can predefine like macros. And I can look them up here in the list of all the available macros, or just can also select them, for example, as a long name, double click here, and then we have it here, and based again on the object which I will select, this macro will get updated. And that's how you can basically create all of your own templates according to your requirements and needs. Now again, yeah, you can also link data, sample data, groundwater data, data sequences, and similar. As the next topic, let's jump to the maps module. So right now we'll close our template engine. We will switch here. That's another way of visualization of your data. So our maps module is our like embedded GIS model. And within this, our embedded GIS, you can also link your data from your database to the data to the map. And next to the objects, you can also include shapefiles, KMZ files, and similar. Once you select an object, also the data gets visualized here on the right-hand side. And how does it work? In general, those objects are plotted based on your coordinate system and again, and according to your coordinates. If you want to make more advanced GIS methods, you can also, or we are providing different kind of methods like the elevation data, offline OpenStreetMaps in similar. So right now, for example, I could also just drag and drop here an area. We can fetch here right now the elevation data and then also plot it on the map. Also, if you have specific queries within the objects, you can perform specific actions as interpolation, triangulation to get even more value out of your data. But now I will close the Maps module, and then we can navigate to another feature, which are our cross-sections. So I navigate here to all objects. I go here to cross-section. Within this area, I can also drag a cross-section line from left to the right. From here on, so we can also adjust the coordinates accordingly. And from here, we can then decide which objects we would like to project on the cross-section. So in this case, I would like to project borehole 03. So I'm selecting right now borehole 03. I'm selecting borehole 02. Then we can see the data sets aligned to each other. We can switch a little bit the scale so that's more easy visible. Whoop. Now we go into the other direction. And then we can also link the layers. So right now we see here our information, and we can also use our cross-section link tool where we can join the layers. So I'm selecting the layers here. I'm selecting them on the other hand side. And once I right-click, I can end the layer choice. The fill pattern is designed based on the selected layers, and the layer is drawn. The same applies for the other layers which we select here, like that. And that's how we can create our cross-section. And in this case, we see here we have a clay layer. We can create an individual polygon to also highlight the clay layer. And of course, then you can add all the other elements as necessary, and also add colors in similar. That's so far for the cross-sections. Regarding interoperability, we are providing a bunch of imports. And so we can, depending on the level where we are, also like import general data, we can import data sequences, everything then from Excel or CSV. We can import our samples, we can import measurement data, we can, as I mentioned, import data sequences. And also depending on the level where we are, we can also export them. So right now, again, if we go to measurement data, we have different kind of functions to export the data sets if we have them available by just clicking here. Also from the templates, you can export everything according to PDF, and also from the embedded maps module, you can export shapefiles. It's similar. Right now, what's on the roadmap, just like as an outlook, we are focusing right now on a gINT import, but we also would like to have like a DXF export. And right now we're really extending the team also with new team members to make it happen. Of course, we would be really curious to understand which kind of file formats would you like to have for importing and exporting, and also take it into consideration. Yeah, that was so far like GeoDin in a nutshell. And thanks for attending. Now we are very open for your questions. So I would hand over again to you, Kimberly.
Great, thank you. Thanks, Daniel. I appreciate that. So now we want to open it up for questions. So please feel free to, Eliane, I think you can bring people forward if they have questions, or you could drop them in the chat and add a comment. Either way works for us. And Suzanne, I know we have others that are monitoring LinkedIn and potentially YouTube as well. Just giving it a minute. Let's see.
Yeah, let's wait a while because there is some kind of delay in the messaging. We have some people online, so let's see if they have questions. But maybe Kimberly, while we wait, what are the questions that you normally get from potential users of GeoDin? Do you have?
Absolutely, yeah. No, thanks, Eliane. We'll kick it off and see what comes over. But let me start there. So one question that we consistently get is, what makes GeoDin different, right? What is unique about it? And for GeoDin, your data truly is your data from start to finish. For those concerned about data residency, that is something that GeoDin handles quite well because your data is always protected. And then also from our side too, we've been around for 30 years. And with that time comes a lot of great experience and expertise that's been put into GeoDin, adding into some really rich, unique features as well. So that's something that's really important to note because, with that time, we've really refined the software to continue to improve and be really robust. Let me pause there because I do see questions coming in. So let me start first with Love. Great to meet you from Sweden. Nice to see you. I know we've been in touch via email. What would you say are the biggest changes from previous versions of GeoDin? Great question. Daniel, I'm going to hand that over to you since you know it so well, past and present.
All right. Thanks, Kimberly, and thanks a lot for your question. Well, yeah, we are extending basically right now also the supported languages what we do, and right now also we are extending the interoperability. That could be maybe one of the biggest changes. And so what we do with our current version. Also, what we right now are breaking down, because like in previous GeoDin versions, you could only store up to 10,000 objects. Right now, we really basically broke this wall, and so now you can store as many objects within a project or database as you want. I think that was one of the bigger changes which we faced. I hope that would answer the question.
Great. And one thing, thank you, Daniel. One thing to add there is just recapping kind of what we said before. There's a lot of great time and investment going into GeoDin right now as well. So really excited about changes to come as we have software releases. So Love, we can certainly keep you updated on what that looks like and timeline for some different new features and capabilities. So now, Kevin, thank you for joining us as well. Kevin says, can we use GeoDin to generate geotechnical report as a format?
Yeah, so from my perspective, we can do it. So basically we are using the templates, we can link the data, we are exporting them to PDF, and based on that, we can create a geotechnical report. So that's also something what we do from time to time. So we create our geotechnical report, we're writing some text, and then link like all the data from GeoDin to this report.
And Kevin, let us know if there's anything there Daniel shared you want us to elaborate on or that we didn't cover. And the same, Susanna, thank you. So Love, if there's anything special you're looking for as a feature within GeoDin, please let us know. We love hearing that feedback. So either you can drop it here in the chat or send it to sales@geodin.com or myself as well. I know you have my email address. Okay, I'm going to pause here for a minute and see if there's any other questions coming through. While we wait, how about this, Daniel? I'm going to ask a question from my side. Can you recap how we've used GeoDin in either a complex or a cool project? I think it'd be great to highlight maybe a project it's been used in.
Yeah. Sure, no, we can do so. And so I think like one of our biggest clients, TenneT in Germany, was using GeoDin. They have done it for an infrastructure project because right now, as you know, there's a lot of stuff happening for renewable energies. We are developing a lot of wind farms in northern Germany, in the Baltic Sea, in the North Sea. And the biggest challenge is how can we get the energy transported to southern Germany. And so what's right now happening? TenneT decided that they create like a cable route. And so across Germany, and they also picked like GeoDin as their master database for data management. What's happening? They have like a huge client server database. They're hosting it on a cloud. I think it's in Azure cloud, if I remember properly. And also like all the subcontractors, and so they're using for the site investigation, are using GeoDin, collecting the data, storing it, providing it to TenneT. And then also they can merge all data sets to a really large database. And so containing all the data. I think that's something quite cool.
Yeah, that's a good one. Thanks, Daniel. That's a great one to kind of provide an overview for everyone that's attending here. And then Raphael, I see one came in from your side. Thank you for joining us from Switzerland. He says, Daniel, you talked about geotechnical data sets and its visualization. What if we want to adapt the input tabs for different chemical parameters? Is there a possibility to do that?
All right, thanks. One moment.
And Daniel, he did say, I'm sorry,
Hmm?
he said maybe to make it clearer, is the database adaptable to the user's needs? There was an add-on there.
Yeah. One moment, I will open, I will add again my screen, and so you can see it here. And yeah, you can do so. And so if I go right now on the system side here, you have like predefined data types. And a data type, again, is a representation of a test. And so I think we have even here like a chemical analysis where we have like parameters inside. However, if you really need it, you can also create, or like you as a user, you can create your new data type, your own data type. You can give it a name. You can add your own individual parameters. And also then basically that's also according to the database adoption, create new tables with the data you would like to have. And so on also which is necessary for you. Also regarding dataset adoption, and so we talked about pick lists, maybe just as an extension, which you can link. And I showed you like a selection of pick lists. And we can also modify or create new dictionaries, add new codes in similar according to your needs. So yeah, that's definitely possible that you can add new tabs to your dataset and create your own tests and to store the values you would like to have. And also what would be, again, good for us to know if you have a very specific something in mind, that's something we can also generate and provide every time with GeoDin, if that would be interesting for you. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Daniel, and thanks for the question, Raphael. And any other questions that you all have? One thing that I'm going to do in a minute is actually take you to our website and kind of show you around just a little bit really quick to familiarize you with it. But I'll wait a minute before I do that to see if there are questions. And then I'll go to that and then come back and see if there could be some more out there that we can answer at that point. Okay, let me do this. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to take you to the website for just a minute. So bear with me and don't be shy. Drop those questions in as you have them. We'll come back to them as well. But let me share. All right, great. So hopefully you can see this. Daniel, will you give me a thumbs up if you're able to see this from your side? Great. Okay, good. Wonderful. So here we go. I'm going to take you to geodin.com. And here on GeoDin, one thing that you'll notice right out of the gate, and we really want to encourage you to do, is trial it out. I know quite a few of you here on the call are actually doing a trial now, which is wonderful, because that really is the best way to get to know GeoDin. And by going just to our homepage, you can find that right there. Did we lose connection? Are you seeing it now?
It's back again.
Okay, good. Excellent. All right. So here, just to highlight that again, please do a trial of GeoDin. It's the best way to get to know it. And here on the homepage, you just put in your email and that's it. We'll send you the information you need to download the trial of GeoDin. Beyond that too, with features, and Daniel's covered quite a bit today, and we're going to share this web demo, but it's great. We have a page that's going to highlight everything that GeoDin can do for you. We also have a video that highlights a lot of what Daniel highlighted for you today as well. But this will go through all the features and some videos, some snapshots of the different features as well. So please do utilize that as a resource. And then, of course, always I'm available. sales@geodin.com. You can send questions our way, especially because I don't know about you, but for me, sometimes those questions come later. I think about what was presented and they hit me at a later time. So please feel free to send those later. Then also here, you will see pricing. So that is another important spot. So once you trial GeoDin, you will love it. We're sure of that. This is where you go to actually move forward with a license for GeoDin. And for GeoDin, we have more of an individual license or a pro license as well. So if you're interested, please reach out. I'm happy to talk through those options with you and what might be a best fit for your needs. Don't hesitate, to reach out and we can have that conversation. I'm happy to. And then I'll stop sharing and I'm going to come back and just see if any other questions popped up. I don't see anything right now. go.
So Danielle, you did a great job, I think, explaining. We don't have many questions, but I think Kimberly. Oh, I see another question coming. Just a sec. We'll put it.
There we go. Is there a tablet version of GeoDin for the use in the field? For example, core logging.
So right now we don't have a tablet version of GeoDin. However, we have already concepts how to design such kind of tablet version or like a mobile version you can use on Android and iOS. So that's also something in the planning. And again, also as Kimberly mentioned, we're right now really stacking up the team to make such kind of developments and to bring it to the next level, because we totally understand like handwritten paper logs, that's a little bit old-fashioned, and so we need to look into the future, and also like the tablet version or mobile version is definitely on our roadmap.
Great question.
Yeah, maybe Kimberly. Now I see that we can still receive questions, but in the meantime, maybe you can share our feedback form, because we also want to know
Yeah,
how to improve these demos.
let's do it. Let's do it. So here, I'm going to share a QR code with you all. Thank you, Eliane. And we love feedback. Hopefully, as you can already tell, we really appreciate the feedback, because we plan to do more of these web demos, and we want to make it better and really useful. We know time is precious, and we appreciate the time that you've given. So let me share this QR code with you now. And then with the QR code, what I would like for you to do is, let me see, I'm just going to share it here. What I'd like for you to do is, it's only going to take less than a minute. It's really 3 or 4 questions. They're very short, but if you can scan this code and then give us your feedback, that would be wonderful. So we're just going to give a minute or 2 here. And then also, if anyone has questions that have popped up, feel free to throw those in the chat in the meantime. Just going to give a little bit more time here, and then we'll wrap the web demo up. And actually, I can leave this up as we wrap. Why don't I do that, just in case someone hasn't had the time to scan it yet. But with that, and let me know, Daniel, any other questions? Let me know if there are any that I'm not seeing as I share. No, I think we're good. I think we're all set. Eliane, from other platforms, are we all set? No other questions?
No, until now we don't have questions, so it's good. But of course, they can send the questions to you afterwards.
Exactly.
Okay, that's great.
Raphael has another one.
Sorry? Okay, good. Raphael has one more. Okay, there we go.
Raphael.
Okay, perfect. Take your time and put it there. How is the data transfer going from old GeoDin versions to a newer one?
Basically, you can use your, it's depending on your version of GeoDin, to be honest. And so if you use GeoDin 3, it's going to be quite difficult from data migration. But I think from GeoDin version 6 on, you can also basically drag and drop or use your old databases, link them to the newest version of GeoDin. And within GeoDin, we have like it's called object type update version. So by clicking that, your data model will get adjusted to the newest version. And that's how you can migrate data from previous versions to the most recent one. Because also with the time, with the versions, we are also increasing the data models of GeoDin. And so again, like for the geotechnical data sets, but also for the environmental data sets, it's similar.
Great. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Raphael, for the question as well. Okay, with that, just thank you, of course, for your time. We really appreciate it. We look forward to hearing from you. We'll be in touch, again, sharing the recording of the web demo. And then, you can always reach out to sales@geodin.com if you have any questions. And we'd love to build on solid ground together. So hoping that you will consider GeoDin, give it a trial, check it out, and then we can be in touch on how to get you set up with GeoDin. So thank you all. We hope you have a great rest of your day and evening for many of you as well. And we do appreciate the time. So thanks again.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.